So, let's rewind a bit. I work in an office that thrives on meetings. I'm talking about long, drawn-out sessions that can stretch up to 4 hours. Now, if you have ADHD like I do, you know that sitting still and focusing for that long can feel like an impossible task. I've dealt with this for years. Back in university, I discovered that crocheting and knitting helped me focus during lectures. My professors even encouraged it. They understood that as long as I was engaged in learning, I could do whatever I needed to keep my concentration. Fast forward to my current job, I decided to take that same approach into the office. I mentioned my struggles with focusing during meetings to my manager, who surprisingly supported the idea. She suggested I find something to keep my hands busy. So I thought, why not crochet or knit during those long meetings? At first, it was a game changer. I could finally stay engaged and participate more actively. I brought in simple projects, nothing that required my full attention, just small squares or hats that I could do without looking down too much. It was perfect. I even made sure to keep it discreet, lying it on my lap and avoiding any noise. But then, out of the blue, a colleague approached me. With a serious tone, he told me to stop. I was taken aback. He said it was rude and disrespectful to everyone involved, including the service users we discussed. I tried to explain my side, that crafting was helping me stay on track, but he wouldn't budge. It felt like a punch in the gut. I knew I was participating. I took notes, I contributed to discussions. But here was this colleague, determined to take it to the higher-ups if I didn't comply. The thought of facing consequences for something that was helping me so much was overwhelming. I was left questioning myself. Was I being unprofessional? Should I really stop doing something that was enhancing my productivity? I decided to clarify a few things. The meetings were relaxed. There were usually only 6 to 15 people, and we were all professionals discussing plans for our service users. They weren't even in the room. I wasn't being disruptive, and I kept my projects small and manageable. After that encounter, I felt conflicted. I knew I had to take this to my manager for clarity, so I mulled it over, thinking about how to approach her in a way that would highlight my needs without coming off as defiant. The idea of being dismissed for something that had been a lifelong coping mechanism felt incredibly unfair. And the irony? I'm not on medication for my ADHD. After trying various treatments and suffering from side effects that made it nearly impossible to function, I chose to manage it myself. Crafting was my coping strategy. It allowed me to thrive in a job I love, but I also wanted to make sure I was being fair to my team. I decided to gather input from everyone at the next meeting. Perhaps they'd have insights that could help me balance my needs with theirs. As I prepared for this discussion, I couldn't help but feel the weight of everyone's opinions. ADHD isn't something you can just grow out of or control entirely. It's a part of who I am, and I wish people understood that. So, what do you think? Should I stop crocheting during meetings, or is it just a harmless way to cope and stay engaged? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.